everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I am Sana and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 4th of June 2022. Let's start. What is the fiscal deficit recorded in India for 2021 to 22 in percentage of GDP? So the Controller General of Accounts released the fiscal deficit for this year, which improved to 6.7% of the GDP over the revised budget estimate of 6.9%. So the fiscal deficit in absolute term was 15,86,537 crore rupees. Okay. So this increase was mainly on account of higher tax realization, and the tax receipt during the fiscal stood at 18.2 trillion rupees as against the revised estimate of 17.65 trillion rupees. Fine. So overall for this year the fiscal deficit was 6.71% of GDP. Now coming to the question slide, which Indian public sector enterprise issued renewed biodiversity policy 2022? So NTPC Limited, which is the India's largest integrated energy producer, has issued renewed biodiversity policy 2022, and with this it is the first public sector unit to issue the biodiversity policy in the year 2018, and the public sector undertaking, which is also called as National Thermal Power Corporation Limited, and also NTPC Limited became a member of Indian Business and Biodiversity Initiative in 2018, right? What are the new annual premium rates of Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana respectively with effect from 1st of June 2022? So the government has raised the premium for Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana and the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana to make them economically viable, and the premium rate of this yojana has been revised upward to 1.25 rupees per day, and the annual premium of this one yojana has been hiked from 12 rupees to now 20 rupees. Okay, so overall this has been increased from 330 to 436 annually. So correct answer would be 436 rupees and 20 rupees. Okay, as per the recent NSO update, what is the GDP growth estimate of India in 2021 to 2022? So the National Statistical Office has marginally slashed its GDP growth forecast to 8.7%, which is down from 8.9% that was estimated in the month of February. Okay, so correct answer would be 8.7%. Who was selected for the Dr. V. Shantaram Lifetime Achievement Award in the Mumbai International Film Festival 2022? So the winner for this award is Mr. Sanjeet Narvekar. He is actually a historian, author and publisher. Fine. And which was the focus country for the Mumbai International Film Festival 2022? So the focus country was Bangladesh. Next question. Who has been appointed as the MD and CEO of National Asset Reconstruction Company Ltd? So former State Bank of India Deputy MD Mr. Natarajan Sundar has been appointed as the Managing Director and CEO of National Asset Reconstruction Company. And this is the joint initiative of public and the private sector banks, and it is expected to take over the bad loans from banks and focus on the resolution and the recoveries. Okay, so basically it has shareholding from 15 Indian banks and Canara Bank is the sponsor bank. Fine. Now let's see some of the important appointments. KVIC Chairman Vinay Kumar Saxena has been appointed as the Lieutenant Governor of which state or the Union Territory. So recently he has been appointed as the Lieutenant Governor of New Delhi. Naveen Srivastav has been appointed as the ambassador to which country? So now he is the ambassador to the country Nepal, and he has replaced Mr. Vinay Quatra. Now onwards, Mr. Vinay Quatra is our new Foreign Secretary. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan has been appointed as the President of which country after its incumbent president passed away? So after death of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan is the new president of the country UAE, who has been appointed as the CEO and MD of Air India. This is Campbell Wilson. And earlier, if you remember, that former Turkish Airlines chairman İlker IC declined the Tata Group's offer to become the head and CEO of Air India, and after that Campbell Wilson was appointed as MD of Air India, right? Who has been appointed as the next CEO of Aditya Birla Capital? This is Vishakha Mulye. Okay. Next question. Ila Venil Valarivan, Shreya Agarwal and Ramita, seen in the news recently, are associated with which sport? So Indian women's shooting team of Elavani Valarivan, Shreya Agarwal and Ramita have bagged a gold medal for India in the 10 meters air rifle women's team event at the ISSF World Cup 2022. So this was India's first medal at the ongoing ISSF World Cup that is being held in Baku, which is actually the capital of Azerbaijan, right? So correct answer would be shooting. They all are related to shooting. Let's see some of the important sports that were in news. Nikhat Zareen, who recently won a gold medal for India in the World Championship, plays which sports? First of all, this championship took place in Istanbul, Turkey, and overall India has earned 3 medals, right? So the first one was gold medal and it was earned by Nikhat Zareen in 52 kgs category, and Nikhat Zareen belonged to the state Telangana. This is also important. Then second is Manisha. She has bagged the bronze medal in 57 kgs category. And then third is Parveen, and she has also bagged the bronze medal in 63 kgs. So here in the question it talks about Nikhat Zareen, so she is related to boxing, right? And don't forget that best boxer in this championship was declared as Busenas Sermenili. Can you tell me from which country she belonged to? Do let me know in the comments. Shreya Singla, who won a gold medal for India at the 24th Deaf Olympics, plays which sports? Answer would be badminton. Okay, so this championship took place in Brazil, and what was the motto for this event? Sports comes from our heart, and mascot was ring-tailed Koti Nino, okay, which means basically priceless. So talking about the medal tally of this event, first country in this was Ukraine, then at second it was USA with total 55 medals. Ukraine has actually 138 medals. Then Iran has total 40 medals and India has 17. Fine. Thomas Cup, which was clinched by India recently, is related to which sports? So Thomas Cup is also related to badminton, and similarly Uber Cup is also related to badminton. Talking about Thomas Cup, India has won this cup by defeating the country Indonesia, and Uber Cup has been won by South Korea and it has defeated the country China to win this cup. Which state government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Samsung to open Sports Digital Experience Center? This is to be set up in the state of Manipur. Harshada Sharad Garud, who was seen in the news recently, is associated with which sport? She is related to weight lifting. And why she was in news? Because she is the very first Indian to win the gold medal in the weightlifting at IMF Junior World Championship. This championship took place in Greece. Okay. Next question. Which country was the top export destination for the country's textile and apparel shipments in 2021-22? So India recorded its highest ever textile and apparel export in the financial year 2021-22 at $44.4 billion. And exports including handicrafts recorded an increase of 41% over corresponding figures in financial year 21. So USA was the top export destination for the country's textile and apparel shipments with total 27% share, and then USA was followed by European Union at 18%, and third was Bangladesh with 12%, and the fourth country was UAE with 6%. Okay, now let's see some of the important figures. Which state is the top sugar producer of India in 2021-22? So the top sugar producer state of India is Maharashtra, then second is Uttar Pradesh, and the third is Karnataka. Which is the top trading partner of India in 2021-22? So the top trading partner of India for this year is USA, and the bilateral trade between the two countries is $119.42 billion. At second place it was China, and the bilateral trade between India and China was $115.42 billion. Which was the topmost investor in India during fiscal year 2021-22? This is Singapore, and then Singapore is followed by USA at second place, and then USA is followed by Mauritius. Okay. Bangalore International Airport Limited has partnered with which bank for a one-stop payment solution? This is Kotak Mahindra Bank. Which bank is the most new addition to the S&P Global Market Rankings Top 50 Banks in the Asia Pacific? This is ICICI Bank. Okay. Next question. Which is the venue of the World Summit on the Information Society Forum 2022? So the World Summit on the Information Society Forum 2022 started in Geneva, Switzerland. So this forum was held under the theme of ICTs for well-being, inclusion and resilience. And this forum is co-organized by ITU, UNESCO, UNDP and UNCTAD. Okay. Let's see some of the important hosts. Which state or union territory hosted the India's first Lavender Festival? So India's first Lavender Festival has been hosted by Jammu and Kashmir. Which state or union territory hosted the National Conference of School Education Ministers in 2022? Answer would be Gujarat. Which country hosted the BRICS Culture Ministers meeting in 2022? So many times I have told about it that this year presidency of BRICS is with China. So whatever events or conferences would be held under BRICS, it would be presided by China. Which country is the host of the Quad Leaders Summit 2022? So this summit was hosted by the country Japan, and Quadrilateral Security Dialogue has total 4 countries: India, USA, Japan and Australia. Don't forget that the new Prime Minister of Australia is Anthony Albanese, right? Which city is the host of the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Trade Ministers meeting in 2022? Here correct answer is Bangkok. Okay. Next question. Libreville is the capital of which city recently visited by the Vice President of India? So Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu is on a visit to Gabon, Senegal and Qatar, and this is the first visit from India at the level of Vice President to the three countries. So Libreville is the capital of the Central African country Gabon, and the Vice President reiterated the commitment of the Government of India to be Gabon's reliable partner. So the bilateral trade between the countries reached to $1.12 billion in 2021 to 22. Okay. Coming to the question slide, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed Garib Kalyan Sammelan in which city? So Prime Minister Modi has addressed the Garib Kalyan Sammelan in Shimla in Himachal Pradesh, marking the completion of 8 years of the government. So this program is organized across the country at state capital, district headquarters and Krishi Vigyan Kendras. So Prime Minister also released the 11th installment of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana of around 21,000 crore rupees to more than 10 crore beneficiary farmer families. Fine. Which Indian city received sustainability rating of 3 on the Urban Sustainability Assessment Framework? This is Pink City, Jaipur. Rural Tribal Technical Training Program, that is Grameen Udyami project, was launched in which city as a pilot project? So it was launched in Bhopal recently as a pilot project. International Conference on New Technologies and Innovations in the Rural Roads was organized in which city? So it was organized in New Delhi. Fine. Next question. Which state or union territory hosted the India's first Lavender Festival? So Union Minister Jitendra Singh inaugurated the Lavender Festival, which is the first of its kind in India, where in Bhandarwa in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. So this place lies in the Doda district and it is the birthplace of the Purple Revolution, and also it is known for the lavender cultivation in terms of land and climate. So CSIR Aroma Mission under the Ministry of Science and Technology aims to develop aroma related science and technology to reach the farmers, industry and society. Okay. Let's see some of the important states that were in news. Hurricane Agatha, the first of the Pacific season, recently hit which country? So Hurricane Agatha has recently hit Mexico and almost 10 people were died and around 20 were missing in the southern Mexico. So Mexico is regularly hit by tropical storms on both its Pacific and Atlantic coast between May and November. Okay. Which of the following telescopes located at Hanle in Ladakh is the country's very first fully robotic research telescope? So Growth is the India's very first fully robotic research telescope. In which state or union territory North India's first industrial biotech park inaugurated? So North India's first biotech park has been inaugurated in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. In which state the Department of Post delivered the mail using a drone for the very first time? So the Department of Post has used the drones to deliver their mails for the very first time in the state of Gujarat. Recently, who has become the first woman officer to be inducted as a fighter aviator to fly a fleet of helicopters in the Army Aviation Corps? This is Abhilasha Barak. Okay. Next question. Frontier. The world's fastest supercomputer is developed in which country? So Frontier became the world's fastest supercomputer according to the top 500 list of the world's most powerful supercomputer with landmark benchmark score of 1.1 exaflops. So it is a supercomputer built using Hewlett-Packard Enterprises architecture and it was equipped with advanced microdevices processor. So it surpassed the Fugaku, and Fugaku is the Japan supercomputer that has been jointly developed by Riken and Fujitsu Limited, which topped the supercomputer benchmarking index in the year 2020. So this computer is from USA. Okay. let's see some of the important international current affairs. Which country has recently signed a free trade agreement with the UAE? So recently Israel has signed this FTA with UAE. India signed MOU on International Solar Alliance with which country? So recently India has signed this MOU on International Solar Alliance with the country Hungary. Can you tell me who's the president of Hungary and who's the prime minister of Hungary? Which country test fired Zircon hypersonic cruise missile? This is the country Russia. With which country India has signed Memorandum of Understanding for Bilateral Cooperation on Climate Action on May 26, 2022. So India has signed this MOU with UAE in terms of climate action. Okay. Next question. The International Week of Solidarity with the Peoples of Non-Self-Governing Territories is observed in which month? So this week is observed from 25th of May to 31st of May every year. And in the United Nations Charter, a non-self-governing territory is defined as the territory whose people have not yet attained a full measure of self-government, and at present there are 17 non-self-governing territories remaining. Okay, so it is observed in the month of May. Now let us start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Sana signing off.